Hello, Sagittarius. How are you today? Right, okay, let's jump straight into it. I picked the World card for you today. Now, I do associate the World card with Sagittarian energy, so I've opted for this rather than the Temperance card. I'm always getting like the time for waiting is over, new opportunities are arriving. You're wrapping things up, you're kind of tying up loose ends, because you feel a sense of something coming towards you, like uh, a sense of yeah, just new opportunities, new doors opening up, or something coming up for you. Maybe you're about to make a move towards something with the World card in, meaning travel. But specifically, what I'm getting is the Latin kind of like root word. I'm going to say credere, which means to believe. If you think about words like credit, incredible, credible, the word cred comes from this Latin root word, which means something that is believable, truthful. It can be verified. Yeah, it's talking about like something that can be understood. So what the way it's coming through is like if you look at these animals, like excuse me a second. Okay, so um the way it's coming through with these two characters at the top looking at the world and these two looking away, I'm getting something that's like something that's too either like too big or unbelievable, or like it's like too good to be true but not quite that. It's like it's so big, possibly complicated, that it's hard for a lot of people to understand or envisage or to wrap their head around. So some people can, it could be like an idea, a concept, a plan. It's like some people can look at this big thing and kind of understand it and believe in it and kind of hold all that information in their heads, while other people see it as something that's too complicated or overwhelming, so they look away. So the song that I was getting for this was The Whole of the Moon by the Waterboys. You saw the whole of the moon. So Sagittarius, I feel like you can understand this concept or wrap your head around it when other people can't. You can envisage this potential of whatever this is, but other people are like, it's just too overwhelming, it's too complicated, like they can't wrap their head around it. But you can hold all this information together or this concept together. So yeah, you saw the whole of the moon. It actually says something like I saw rainbows but you held them in your hand, and actually the description on this card says the world in the palm of your hand. So I, that's all I'm getting from it, really. But with this incredible as well, like incredible, unbelievable. It's too good to be true. Like it's so awe-inspiring. It's just coming through as something really big, like a big concept. But they were giving me from The Princess Bride. There's kind of like a bit of a meme where this guy goes inconceivable, inconceivable, because I think that some people do find it inconceivable. So I don't know if you're dealing with a Taurus or a Leo. I don't know, maybe Libra there with the eagle, and you. I don't know, but it's like some of you can rationalize this concept. Some of you can understand it. Some of you can't. I'm repeating myself now, so I'm going to move on. But that's what I'm getting from that. So let's move these cards up and out of the way. And let's get you, we want a song, don't we, really, for your reading first, I would say. So I kind of, the song that I randomized for Scorpio played on, and then I got Rehab by Amy Winehouse. So I don't know if that's relevant to anyone. Just to say as well, I was really hot during Scorpio's reading. And then as soon as I finished their reading, I went cold again. So there's definitely something to do with Scorpio and that heat. Right, okay. So we're doing Sagittarius now, please. Sagittarius for Wednesday. So tell me, what are we going to be dealing with in the reading today? What's the song for the reading for Sagittarius on Wednesday? What a wonderful world. No way. And you've like, I love it. I love it when stuff like this happens. Your card is the world card, and this is Joey Ramone, What a Wonderful World. Don't worry about me. So maybe you're off on an adventure and you're saying to somebody, don't worry about me. I understand, I've got it all planned, and other people are like, no, I don't understand what you're doing, but you're like, well, I know I've got it in my head. You saw the plans, right, from that song, you saw the plans. So I see trees of green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I say to myself. So I'm going to say as well, I was picking up on in Scorpio's reading, there was a bluebird, which was giving me bluebirds over the White Cliffs of Dover, but I was also getting somewhere over a rainbow from it, which I didn't say in the reading because I felt like the other song was more relevant, but I kind of like stored it away in my subconscious. And then there's that Israel Kamakawiwo'ole, I hope I've said his name right, song, where he mixes Somewhere Over the Rainbow with What a Wonderful World. So I'm getting that. So I just need to say what I'm getting. Because I was picking up on the rainbows as well with that other song. I saw a rainbow, you held it in your hands, you saw the whole of the moon. So I'm going to write all those songs down for you. You can look them up in the description box below. Yeah. Okay, interested to see where this reading goes. I feel like I'm getting a bit of a storyline throughout the readings again. In Scorpio's reading, because Scorpio had a lot of stuff that was in Libra's reading, so I felt like it was almost like a connection or a progression of Libra's reading. And now there's this King of Pentacles that both of the signs that I've just done got. I say just done, I did Libra yesterday and Scorpio today, and now I'm doing yours. So, but I was really noticing the green behind him, and so in that Joey Ramone song it says, I see trees of green, red roses too, I watch them bloom for me and you. So I don't know if there's something to do with a place that's very green, like somebody who's in a landscape that's very green. You know, a lot of people live in sort of dry, arid areas, or cities and things like this. But it's like fields. Maybe someone's moving to the countryside or something like that. Okay, so I don't know why I got that back down, but I did. So maybe there's something else with that world card. You know, somebody could be traveling, someone could be moving. I just heard pastures new. Moving on to pastures new. I can't even say that. So it's like the grass. It's almost like somebody's. Now you don't have to literally be traveling, but I feel like with the world symbolizing wrapping something up and moving on to a different stage. You know, after the world comes the Fool card. So it's like somebody's wrapping something up, and it's like there may not even be something wrong with where you've been, but it's like you want to go and check out what's out there. You want to go and explore the new pastures, right? And it might turn out that the grass was always greener where you were, but how do you know if you don't go and check it out? So it's like you're exploring, or it just feels like checking out your options, right? Exploring, looking into new opportunities, because if you don't try, you're not going to know. So a very good mindset to have. It's one of your most positive traits, actually, Sagittarius, the ability to kind of be quite adventurous and try new things. So let's keep going. So can I get a card for Sagittarius's reading today, please? We're on Wednesday. So the Scribe. Funny, Scorpio had the King of Scrolls, and you've got the Scribe. Ooh, Archangel Gabriel. This could mean some kind of communication coming in, or some kind of job in communications, especially with the world representing the World Wide Web, the internet. So somebody could be doing something on the internet, expanding a network or something, or networking on the internet. Yeah, Archangel Gabriel, communication, music, song. Perhaps somebody's doing something with music and the internet. Okay, so the Scribe, though. I will read that at the end, because that's going to also be your advice card. So, but this is talking about, the scribes. You have the kind of master, and then the people who are learning. So it may be that there's also this thing about copying. So not copying in a sense of it being a negative thing, but also this kind of like imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. If you see someone who's doing something right and doing something well, then of course you're going to emulate that, because they are they're kind of setting the example, right? They're setting the example for you to follow, or you're setting the example for others to follow. It could also talk about maybe you're at university. I always think with the world card, because a really good example of, oh, look at that, 1221, we've got mirror numbers. So a really nice thing about the world card, an example that I like to use, because the world talks about, it can talk about learning something or completing a cycle of learning something. You've gained knowledge and now you're ready to move on to something else. So a nice example for the world card would be you've completed a degree, you've completed a cycle of being a student and learning something. So the scribe could also indicate somebody who's been a student, they've been learning something from somebody who's got the wisdom, right? So that could be a scenario for somebody there. But I feel like Sagittarius, you are quite an innovative energy, an adventurous energy. You're willing to experiment. So quite similar to Aquarian energy, actually. So I feel like if you have learned something from somebody else, it's kind of like, I'm thinking of Cézanne. Cézanne was an artist who, he did actually go to all these kind of fancy French schools of art. And there's evidence to show that he could actually follow the traditional style, but he chose to put his own unique spin on it, and he adopted a kind of very naive, simplistic style, which actually became a characteristic of his work. If he'd have continued to do the old school method, copying, what he'd been taught, he probably wouldn't have become as famous, because he would have just been doing what everybody else was doing. So I'm getting something about learning how to do something properly, the traditional way, but then innovating and putting your own spin on it to create something new. So there you go, Sag. That's quite fun. I'm quite excited for you. Lamb. I feel like I need to get another card for you, but we'll just see. Yeah, there you go. Frog and the cosmic. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you're creating something new. The universe is bringing in some sort of cosmic egg for you. I did see this in the pre-shuffle as well. This is kind of a new concept, a new idea, something new being born, something. I'm sort of getting evolution. So please, we're not talking about religious beliefs or anything like this here. It's just the example they're giving me. So whatever your personal belief system is, I'm not contradicting that in any sort of way. You're entitled to believe what you want to believe. But if you want to talk about it as a concept, the idea that things evolve over time, sort of. I think I'm not 100% on my high school science, but I think Darwin believed, right, that like the frog as well, like nature will find a way. So whether you believe this is a construct of God, or you believe that this is the way nature works, so take that out of the equation for a second. It's funny that I'm talking about school language. I use the word equation, which I associate with like mathematics at school. So somebody could definitely be learning something in some kind of formal setting. So if you think about Darwin's theory of evolution, he believed that every so often kind of a bit of a freak of nature would be born. That sounds really rude, I'm sorry, but it's like something will be born and it will have some kind of quirk. There'll be something different about it, and if that quirk is beneficial, then that animal will thrive, and it will continue to pass on its genetic code to the future generations. Where if that quirk is born and it's detrimental to the animal's survival, naturally, with the theory of survival of the fittest, it's going to start to die off. So you'll find that when animals are born with some sort of quirk, that if it's a good quirk, it'll develop. If you think about giraffes, they have the very long neck that helps them reach the leaves at the top. It's beneficial to them, so that's why that animal has evolved that way. Now again, I don't want to kind of contradict anyone's belief system or learning, so please do take that as a philosophy if that's something you're a little bit uncomfortable with. The way that it's coming through, the reason why I'm getting that storyline, because I don't want to, we all have different belief systems, and I do respect that, we may not always we may have different theories about the world. That's okay, right? As long as we respect each other, as long as we hear each other out, it's okay to say, yeah, I'm not gonna take that on board. That's not my thing. You know, it's okay to do that. I respect your choices in the matter. I kind of believe in everything and nothing, so whatever. But with the lamb as well, if you think about Dolly the sheep, um, Dolly the sheep was the first, I believe, cloned mammal, and it's something to do with frogs and the way that something to do with frogs' genetic code. And you know, I'm thinking about Jurassic Park, where they said, you know, the dinosaurs can't have, you know, spoiler alert, it has been out for years, but they said the dinosaurs can't reproduce because they're all girls, but they used like something, frog DNA in the code, and frogs can, something to do with frogs changing gender or being able to, what's the word, something, they didn't need to mate to reproduce. So Dolly the sheep cloning, uh, maybe somebody's studying genetics or biology. Maybe that's all this is. I'm just noticing it's a lizard as well there. So if we take away the biology of it and the kind of slightly touchy theories there, what I'm kind of getting is that you are doing something innovative. You're tasked with innovating something. There's this cosmic egg, which is kind of like, you know, if we go back to religion and the belief in God, God has a task for you to birth something new into the world, and it could be something to do with some sort of creative project or something that you're learning. The lamb and the frog. The lamb is quite naive, quite vulnerable, so do be aware of that. You may be, excuse me, you may have like slightly rose tinted glasses in a situation. You may not quite, it's like if you're embarking on a trip around the world, you know, do be aware of you know, things that are going to keep you safe. There may be things that are out there in the world that what are they giving me? It's a wild world. Oh, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by on just a smile, girl. So yeah, just be aware that you need to make sure you take proper precautions to keep yourself safe. There's going to be things out there in the world that you're not aware of that are bad. The frog, though, talks about this is somebody who's been in a bit of a dark place. It always gives me, why does it always rain on me? But this person's about to take a leap of faith into something new. They're about to jump onto a new lily pad, if you like. So moving to a better situation is feeling like grass is greener, right? The grass is greener on the other side. So leaving a situation, exploring new pastures as well with the lamb. Okay, so do take anything that resonates there, leave anything that doesn't. Got quite a lot intuitively there through that. So let's move on to, I actually just wanted to make a note of that Cat Stevens song. Okie dokie, so let's keep going. So I'm going to move to your emotions, your thoughts and your action space. So past, present, future. So first of all, I'm doing your past emotions, please, for Sagittarius. 9 of Cups. Okay, that's good. Current emotions, please, for Sagittarius. Current emotions for Sagittarius. So I'll explain what all this means once I've pulled all the cards. Which way, please? King of Pentacles is in everybody's reading at the moment, in the reverse as well. Libra had him in the reverse in this position. Future, whoa. Okay, clarity again. Scorpio as well had the Queen of Swords here in this position. So clarity is definitely coming in. 2 of Cups, though, that's nice to see. That's somebody who you, who's on your wavelength, who you see eye to eye with, a partner in crime, right? Somebody who fits you and who you compliment back. Yeah, definitely somebody who's on your level involved in this situation. So past, whoa, the devil tried to come out in your past thoughts there, but he went back in, so I'm not going to take him. Past thoughts, please, for Sagittarius. Past thoughts, please, for Sagittarius. If he wants to come back out, he'll come back out. Past thoughts, please, for Sagittarius. Okay, we've got quite a lot going on there. I'm going to take the Knight of Swords because this is what I caught. But we've also got Justice, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 10 of Wands. I am going to take all that, actually. Let's just pop it like that, and then we'll kind of figure out what that means. A lot of Libran energy in everybody's readings. The Libra also had the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. I just feel like there's a lot of interplay at the moment through the readings. A lot of the same cards seem to be coming out a lot. Current thoughts, please, for Sagittarius. Oh, we've got 2 aces now. Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is that passion project. This is that realization of the cosmic egg. Conceiving of this new opportunity. Future thoughts, please, for Sag. King of Cups. Now, it's funny because Libra and Scorpio both have the King of Pentacles in this position, and you've got the King of Cups. So it's just curious to me that everybody's getting a king in this future thoughts energy. The moon there, those secrets. Secrets or fears or illusions going on there. Yeah, just be aware, because you've got that lamb energy, just be aware that there may be more going on in a situation than you are aware of. Something may look really good on the surface, but there may be hidden motives or hidden agendas. So do just take care to protect yourself. Sagittarius, you tend to be the type of person who you tend to see the best in everybody. You are very honorable, very you just, how do I explain what Sagittarian energy is like for me? You always have good intentions. You tend to be very well intentioned. Again, it does depend on your full birth chart. Every Sagittarius is going to be different, but Sagittarian energy tends to be you know, quite honorable, quite a little bit naive in terms of, like, you just get quite excited for what's new, and you don't always necessarily think about the pitfalls that may be there. So because you are quite high vibrational, you are quite a an optimistic, good-natured energy, you may have a tendency to assume that everybody's like that, where sometimes people may have ulterior motives, and you tend to take things at face value. So just do be cautious. Do try and be aware of I don't want to spoil your fun, because I think this is something that happens with Sagittarius. When you realize that people are maybe not good people, you get quite disappointed with humanity almost. It's like humanity lets you down sometimes, and it spoils that gorgeous childlike sense of adventure and wonder and hope that is a beautiful part of Sagittarian energy. So if things are making you feel like this, do take a leap of faith to something better, because I think that, you know, this purity of your nature is something that should be preserved for as long as possible. But do be aware of your tendency to overlook the bad, or just make sure your alert system, your self-protection is properly working there. I'm not sensing anything bad coming up. I just want to I think it's the moon card is worrying me a little bit. It just tells me that there may be things that are hidden from you that you're not quite aware of. So I don't want, if anyone's not acting 100% around you, I don't want it to kind of spoil your fun, kind of, is what I'm trying to say. So just take sensible precautions. You know, if you're going out, make sure you tell someone where you're going. If you need to get home late at night, make sure you use a reputable company to get you home, or go home with friends. You know, anything to keep you safe. You know, if you're walking home, don't walk across a big dark field. You know, take the well-lit route. So past action, of course you should be able to, though. This is the thing, I'm just thinking about that woman who was recently, sorry, trigger warning, she was attacked and murdered in London. She was walking across a field late at night. Of course you should be able to do whatever you want and go wherever you want to go without fears for your personal safety. But the world is not a perfect place. You know, other people are not good people, and as hard as it is for us to accept that, we have to understand that there's the ideal of what things should be, but also the reality that we need to take precautions and do sensible things. So yes, keep fighting for the better, keep fighting for the ideal, but in the meantime, take care of yourself, take sensible steps, sensible precautions to keep you safe. Right, okay, past action space. The strength card, gorgeous. Current action space. Which way, please? Oh, ouchie. Why? Can I get a bit more information on that? Justice in reverse. Okay. And future action space. Okay. Page of Swords there. Yeah, this is saying get some more information. This is a student. Make sure you've got enough information. You've done your research before you embark on a new journey, whatever that is for you. Yeah, but you're getting information here, so it's okay. And there's that eagle as well from the World card. The eagle there bringing in some information about whatever this is. So, okay, just give me a second with your cards. All right, I'm sensing something that's been unfair or something that felt like a betrayal, but I don't know if it's you who has caused someone to feel betrayed or you are the one who feels kind of betrayed. So it could go both ways, to be fair. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but there's something that feels like it's been a heavy burden. It's been a long process. Could be some kind of court system or contracts or legalities that are taking a long time to be resolved. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to explain what I'm seeing. It's not 100% clear to me what exactly is happening, but I'll talk you through what the cards are saying. And you can take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't, and kind of see what that means to you. It may, when I start to explain it, it may make more sense to you than it does to me. In your past here, in your emotional space, you had this feeling of being quite good at making yourself happy. This. I love the Nine of Cups. It can talk about wish fulfillment. It can talk about abundance, emotional abundance, because it's in your emotions. I've never noticed the shells on the edge of that table before, so there could be something to do with the shells. Maybe something to do with the seaside or beaches, or maybe you collect shells, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who's a water sign. You know, we have got the King of Cups here, but this is like this is kind of like, I'm good energy. I'm not codependent. I don't rely on anyone else for my happiness. I am perfectly capable of making myself happy. And whatever anyone's doing around me, I'm pretty moderate. I'm pretty, I'm good no matter what's going on around me. It's like, you could have family drama going on around you, or you could have other people who are causing a force, or, just stirring the pot. But you're kind of like, it's like water off a duck's back, because you've got inner happiness. You're not codependent on other people. The moods of other people don't affect your mood. You're like, do you know what? If people are causing drama over there, I'm just going to go in the kitchen, I'm going to pour myself a drink, and I'm going to be perfectly fine. Just be wary though, because you did have the Amy Winehouse song. I think it was you at the start of the reading. Yeah, Rehab. So just be aware that the Nine of Cups can indicate somebody who drinks too much. Yeah, just watch that you're not escaping a situation through alcohol. So I feel like that could just be a side message for one person. If that's not your thing, don't worry about it. You could also be dealing with somebody who does that, who does have a problem. I see you here with the Knight of Swords in your thoughts and the Strength card in your action space. I'm seeing this as you rushing back to support someone from your past. So it could be that you've gone to support a family member, or it's like you're going to someone's rescue. Somebody's burdened, they're struggling, they need support, so you've gone to help. Gone in like the knight in shining armor, ready to save the day. So in your thoughts, you are quite clear. You're open to communication with the sword raised, but with him facing backwards, it's like returning to something. You could be wanting to speak your piece, to deliver information, to give someone a bit of a news flash, right? But you're returning to something. It's taking a lot of strength though here. There could be, I do see you supporting someone. I see this as you supporting someone, but it could be that somebody's at your side supporting you. But this talks about in your action space, feeling very confident, doing something that's very brave, persevering with something, because in your thoughts, the other cards that came out, you do have this 10 of Wands. Now, this is very heavily burdened. This is like, I need to put down these burdens. The straw that broke the camel's back. It's like I'm done with whatever the situation is. It's too much. The burdens are too heavy to carry. I see this as your energy because you're walking back, right? So all this walking back energy I'm seeing as you. You could be going towards. Again, you could be connecting with a Libra because this is Libran energy for me, and Libra had the same card in this position. So you could have a mother or a boss, or a long-term partner, and there's a sense of contracts involved, or karmic contracts. You could be dealing with a karmic, somebody who you have to learn a lesson from. Again, that can be family. It doesn't mean that you have to turn your back and walk away on them, but it means that there's a lesson to be learned in this situation, which again comes in with this World card. So you're very, very burdened here. It's taking you a lot of strength and perseverance in order to return to a person and speak your truth, possibly about something involving alcohol. You are thinking that you want justice from a situation. You want fairness. You want things to be balanced and equal. This person should be very nurturing. They should be responsible. They should be taking care of themselves and others, but it could be that they're too interested in or this could be something to do with being tied up with money here, or somebody who works too hard, and you're shouldering all the burdens for them. Yeah, it could be that some of you have left a long-term relationship, and you're shouldering all the blame, or you're taking a lot of the burdens and responsibilities from this while that other person's kind of sitting pretty. I see you as the person who's kind of like suffering here, who needs this strength. You could be it could be confronting with the Knight of Swords. It could be confronting somebody or something from your past because you want fairness. Now, here in the action space in your current situation, I see that something is very, very unfair. Something is unjust, or you're kind of, sorry, my nose is very itchy all of a sudden. I don't know if that's anything relevant to you. Maybe somebody has hay fever or something. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I've got the sniffles, you know, so somebody could be, if you're crying right now, that's what I'm picking up on. So in your current situation, it could be that you're getting out of a contract. Again, if it's not a legal situation, you know, maybe you share a house with this person, you want out of the mortgage agreement, something like this. I see you taking a bit of a hit. You're not going to get a fair outcome here, I'm afraid. Or there's some kind of bad karma playing out from the past. It could be also that the Three of Wands tells me about somebody who's made a decision, then made a decision and they're moving forward with it. In the reverse, I feel like there's some kind of blockage in moving forward here. It feels like if you've been waiting for some kind of court settlement or some kind of karmic justice to play out, I think you might be done waiting here. I think you might be changing a decision you've made. You may have made a decision to wait for some sort of fair outcome, or some kind of truth to be spoken, or some kind of balancing of the scales, but I think you're going to choose a different path here with the Three of Swords in reverse, because what I see you doing with this Ten of Wands here in your thoughts, this feeling of like, it's like the recognition that you are very burdened by something, that you're carrying a lot of baggage. You then go into the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is dropping the burdens, starting again, dropping the baggage, taking a fresh perspective. It's very creative. I am tying it into this cosmic egg. So this is for me is like you choosing a brand new path. You actively, you're putting a lot of thought into this. Either you're thinking up some kind of new concept, you're thinking up some kind of new idea that you're very, very passionate about. You definitely want to, again, it's got like the whole world in his hands. You know, you saw the hole in the moon, you held the rainbow in your hands. Something to do with like, you may do something with your hands that's creative. So you may be an artist or some kind of crafts person. Could have Gemini in your chart as well. But yeah, I feel like dropping the burdens, going in a brand new direction. It's quite a creative or passionate direction, but you're thinking about this. So it's not something that you're just feeling. You're putting a lot of thought into whatever this is. Now, in your thoughts, though, in your current feelings, I think that you are recognizing that somebody was not putting the work in, or somebody's very jealous, or somebody's very greedy in a situation. The King of Pentacles and Justice in the reverse tells me that there could be something to do with finances here, where somebody has been very, very greedy. Again, it could be a long-term partner or some kind of boss. Somebody cares more about the money in this situation than doing the right thing, I think. So I think you're cutting your losses. You're like, I am better off out of this situation. I don't want to be tied up to this person any longer, or this situation any longer, because quite frankly, it's becoming a burden, and I'd rather cut my losses and just go and let them take the money, even though it's not fair, because I'd just rather be free. It's like I want to be free of it. So then in your future actions, future emotional space. Now we do have this legal eagle here. So I do feel like there's legalities involved in whatever this is. So it could just be a work contract, a mortgage agreement, some kind of paperwork, or some kind of legal situation. You could have some sort of legal advisor here as well. So you are getting some kind of truth or clarity, emotional truth, feeling like you are, like you've cut something out and you're ready for something new. Aces are all about new, and they're normally divinely guided as well, and you've got two of them here. So future emotions, the reason why I clarified the Ace of Swords, the reason why we've got this is because of this Nine of Wands energy. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. It's the person who persists with something for a very, very long time. Normally, the message I normally get with the Nine of Wands is like, you're close to the finish line, don't give up. But I think here, emotionally, you recognize that this is becoming too much of a burden, and it feels like, the phrase, the straw that broke the camel's back. You don't want to be the camel in this situation. You don't want to stick around just for another straw to be added, just for more burdens to be added. So this feels to me like, with this and this and this, it feels to me like completely dropping your burdens, dropping any emotional baggage, and trying to separate yourself from a past situation that really was exhausting you. It was just emotionally and physically, or emotionally and mentally exhausting to you. So I think you're definitely, feels like cutting your losses, moving on to something new. And the Page of Swords as well, and the Knight of Swords both talk about, and the Ace of Swords, there's either some kind of clarity or news coming in, or you're speaking your truth, or you're preparing to speak your truth in a situation. In your future thoughts, I think you are recognizing that you deserve somebody who is committed to you, who is loving, who is supportive. I think you're quite clear about what you want now, because you've been dealing with this King of Pentacles in the reverse. Could be that this is an earth sign, could be this is a water sign, doesn't have to be. But you have dealt with this character who is basically quite greedy, in it for the money, or they do not give equally to the relationship. Whoever this person was, it's like they were in it for the money. They were greedy. They were jealous. They didn't put in. They weren't committed to whatever this was. They didn't give an equal share of the workload into whatever the situation was. So this character, they're not a good person. You're kind of done with them. And you're recognizing now, I think, possibly this is a new love interest coming in for you with the Ace of Wands. Doesn't have to be. It can be more of a concept of what you now know that you want, what you now deserve. Because the thing with karmic lessons, I was talking about karmic partners, karmic lessons, sometimes we can really feel like this is our person for a while, and the universe puts this person in our path because they're teaching us a lesson about what isn't good for us, right? So it's almost like maybe if you had a checklist of ideas of what you wanted, now you've experienced this, you can check that off the box and say, I'm not dealing with that again, I'm done with that kind of situation. So now it's time to try and experiment with somebody who is much more emotionally available. This person, the Kings, are quite reserved. They may not be upfront about their emotions, but they're very, very mature emotionally. So they could be the sort of person who They could have a real depth of emotion, a depth of feelings for you. They may not necessarily tell you, but they will show you in their actions. You will know that this person cares for you, and they do, and they are very emotionally stable, very, very deep, caring, nurturing person. So I think it could be you as well. It could be your thoughts thinking, I want to be able to be very emotionally mature, and I want to, when I give somebody my emotional support, when I race in like a knight in shining armor to somebody to save the day, maybe I'm not going to race in anymore. Maybe I'm going to be a bit more cautious about who I lend my support to. I'm going to make sure that they really deserve my support. So it could just be talking about your emotional maturity and your thoughts about it. So do take that as it resonates. In your future action space, you're over it. You're over it. So the Ten of Swords card, there's actually 2 Ten of Swords cards in this deck. One, I'm just going to stop and restock because I'm approaching 40 minutes. Yeah, 2 Ten of Swords cards in this deck. The same image. One of them is the Ten of Swords, and this card says everything is fine. Now, the Ten of Swords normally means feeling stabbed in the back, feeling betrayed. It's the Julius Caesar card, right? Your friends have stabbed you in the back. You thought you had support there, but it turns out those people just were out for their own self-interest. There's an ending. It's bitter. It's a painful ending to something. But you're fine. You're fine because you're almost like, I'm better off without it. I'm better off without it. So you can see that she's checking her phone. She's fine. She's like, yeah, I'm just going to let whatever this is end. I'm going to let it wrap itself up because I'm off to something new and better. And this is where your success lies. So it talks about either being in the spotlight, being successful, winning a war. This person has been to war. The traditional story of the Six of Wands, this person's been to war, and they come back to their victory parade with everybody cheering them on. So reward and recognition, being in the spotlight, being like lauded, if you like. So I feel like you've returned from some sort of battle. It could be a legal battle. You did not, unfortunately, get a fair outcome in terms of perhaps money, but you have been freed from this situation. You're not going to feel like you're this kind of wounded warrior, burdened energy anymore. You're letting all that go, and you can see actually now you've taken that wand, this new start, this creative, passionate new start, and you're moving forwards with it, and this is where your success lies. And I think people, you may have good friends who are cheering you on, like, well done for standing up to that person in your past, well done for getting out of that situation alive, well done for completing that cycle and getting out, and we're cheering you on to whatever this new future is. So yeah, definitely not the fairy tale ending, but the ending that's right for you, and recognizing that you're free now, and you are an energy that's all about freedom, because now you can try something new, and that thing might be your happily ever after, right? But while you were all tied up in this, and you are currently still dealing with this, I think, but while you're still tied up in whatever this situation is, this karmic lesson that you're learning, you can't move on. You can't have that completion of the world card until you've tied up all the loose ends and you've really, really freed yourself from whatever that is. So yeah, you are going to free yourself from it. So congratulations, Sagittarius. You're going to be free to do something fun and exciting and new, and not be stuck in whatever that was anymore. So nice ending there. Let's read you your advice card, and then we'll get a song to close out the reading. So number 12. I think, Sagittarius, you are an energy, like I say, you can sometimes get yourself tied up in things that aren't right for you, because you tend to see the best in others. You tend to think everybody's as lovable and excitable and as well-intentioned as you are. So sometimes you do get yourself stuck in things that aren't right for you. But do you know what? You know that you can get unstuck, and you know that you can start again. And you know that that's better for you. So, you're going to be all right, is what I'm trying to say. Sag, you're going somewhere better and more fun. The scribe, like literally, you've got a cosmic egg there waiting for you. Once you wrap this up, there's something much more exciting and new coming in there. The learned scribe writes at a high desk. Nearby are a number of other working scribes. In some ancient societies, scribes were simply copiers of holy texts, but in many, they were the most learned men of their time. People well versed in law, funny that we've got the justice card twice, law, scripture, philosophy, history, and more. This card indicates a great upsweep in mind and study for you. If there is any subject with which you'd like to acquaint or reacquaint yourself, do so. It's not just for the sake of study, although that's always a good thing. The period of higher mind and higher learning is nothing less than a change your life, or even change the world opportunity. I'll just read that again because I kind of tripped up on it. This period of higher mind and higher learning is nothing less than a change your life or even change the world opportunity. Just as the Wright brothers began by studying the flight patterns of birds, again, Charles Darwin did a lot of stuff looking at flight patterns of birds. I remember I was reading Origin of the Species, and there's all this stuff about like roller pigeons, I think they're called, or something like that. It's like birds that fly up high and then they kind of tumble or spiral towards the ground. And you have high rollers and low rollers. So you have these birds who fly very, very high and roll a long way, and you have like the ones that don't fly as high and they roll a shorter way. But if two high rollers bred, I think the babies would tend to roll all the way down and hit the ground. So it wasn't a good evolutionary step, is what I'm saying. So I don't know why that's come through, but maybe somebody wants to hear that. Sorry, just 1 second. So sorry, I had to take a phone call. Okay. There may be a teacher or even an entire school that can help you with this upliftment. Be sure to seek out the right person or place of learning. I feel like that could be connected to this King of Cups energy. You could also become a writer or a teacher yourself at this time, elevating and contributing to others. If you are involved in any legal matters, see, there is a person who can help you with this. Let your great vision guide you to him or her. There could also be a time when you find yourself writing proposals, grants, essays, blogs, articles, or books. Notice what compels you and be sure to answer the call. Cool. Okay, I hope that was helpful to you. Let's get you a song to close out your reading. Whatever you get from this, whether you love it, hate it, maybe it's only one lyric that stands out to you, or maybe it's not about the song but about the name of the artist, or about the something in the video that stands out to you. Whatever strikes you, that's something to do with the message that the universe is trying to give you personally. So we'll see what happens. So Sagittarius, for Wednesday, or whenever this reading gets to them, the people who are resonating with this reading, what do they really, really, really need to hear right now? Let me reintroduce myself by Gwen Stefani. So yeah, this talks to me about the new start, right? The a reinvention of the self, something like this. But whatever you get from that, maybe you just really like Gwen Stefani. Whatever you get from that, please do take it as it resonates to you. And yeah, do take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye, Sagittarius.